rise for the pledge. Whoa. I almost fell over. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. No, it's just my boot got stuck. I couldn't go backwards with it. Roll call, please.
Bunton.
Here.
Campbell.
Here.
Dempsey.
Here.
Ford.
Here.
Hill.
Here.
Kropp.
Here.
Menser.
Need a motion to excuse Commissioner Menser?
So move.
Support.
Roll call.
Campbell.
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Kropp.
Yes.
Bunton.
Yes.
Okay, announcements, acknowledgements, communications, and reports. Anyone have any? Okay, seeing none. Adoption of the agenda.
I move to adopt the agenda as presented.
Support.
Roll call.
Ford.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Kropp.
Yes.
Bunton.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes. Public participation. This is the time you may address this body. All we ask is that you give us your name, residential address, and that you adhere to the 3-minute rule. So the mic's open.
Good evening. Ruthie Stevenson, 69 Bain Street. Again, I'd like to reiterate the issue with the parking on the streets. I went by the post office, and of course, the director of the post office, postmaster, he wasn't there, but I relayed it to his secretary. I just would like to know, when can we get together to have a meeting? Winter is coming, our streets haven't been done all year, sweeping and all of that other kind of stuff. It went from 64 cars parked in the neighborhood down to 54. So only 10 people realized on any given day it's 54 cars. Depending on who's off or on, it might be 51, 52, but still the numbers is too high. Like I stated before, this is a residential street, not an all-day parking lot. Again, the other issue, and I'm looking at the agenda, and it says the second and final public hearing for proposed activity in a floodplain community development block grant Shadyside. When were, it's on the agenda now. Nobody seems to have known that this was coming up. And I know you said in the last meeting we talked about that it was going to be, but when, and to let people know where they could come and speak to it. I would like to see not really table, but set up a meeting where people can be able to talk on this.
That will be, Ruthie. This is totally different.
Okay.
This has nothing to do with what's going to go in there. This is something we have to do right now. So when we get ready down the road, which could be 6 months.
Yeah, I understand this is about comments in referencing some of the things, but still, I'd like to have been notified ahead of time. Thank you.
Anyone else?
My name's Ron Hurtubise. We live at 51 Maross Street, Mount Clemens. A few months back, you guys were talking about possibly allowing marijuana in the city, and you guys kicked it back to the Planning Commission. Is there any status update on that at all, or are we still kind of waiting, or?
We're working on it.
You're working on it? Okay, thank you.
I see the residents here from Washington. I'm sorry, I don't know the side street that you're on. Parkview, it's across from me.
Can we have your name and address,
Oh, I'm
please?
sorry. I thought you knew me by now. Dolores Kosiniak, 250 Euclid. They're fighting this piece of property that the owner wants to put an apartment building or a senior center. Well, we had an incident not too long ago on Euclid, a couple months ago. An ambulance had to pick up somebody. It was an ambulance, a police car, a fire truck. It blocked the whole street. So you can imagine these people going through this 24/7 with a nursing home. A nursing home, you always have the police, fire, and ambulance there 24/7. My brother was in a nursing home, and I sat outside with him in the courtyard. I think the fire trucks live there. They block up the streets. So I support these people not to have that place turned into any commercial property.
Okay.
So,
Thank you. Anyone else?
Mickey Weiss, 18200 Terra Drive, Clinton Township, Mount Clemens Downtown Development Authority. I just wanted to remind everyone that this weekend is our 5th annual Oktoberfest in downtown. Friday night, our hours will be 6 to 11, Saturday, 2 p.m. till 11, and Sunday from noon to 6. On Friday, we will have Doug Podell from the 94.7 WCSX radio station and the promotion team doing cornhole and other promotional events and things for our customers that will be coming in. 7:30 to 10:30 on Friday night will be the Polish Muslims. On Saturday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. will be Big Daddy and the Lottie Das. At 7 o'clock to 11 will be 50 Amp Fuse. And on Sunday from 1 p.m. to 5 will be the Immigrant Sons. We will once again have the Rochester Mills Brewers Night on Saturday at 5 p.m. to answer any questions that people might have about crafting their own beer. We will have the ceremonial tapping of the keg on Saturday at 5 p.m. And the Rochester Mills special brew for us will be the Amaretto Milkshake Stout. I just wanted to remind everyone also at our Oktoberfest we will have Mount Clemens memorabilia, or excuse me, sweatshirts, t-shirts, that type of thing. And we will also be presenting our bicentennial book for sale. It will also be available at City Hall. I also want to remind everyone that the new edition of the calendar of events is out, and it now has a historic look as we lead into our centennial year. If you have any questions, please feel free to call the office, 586-469-4168. Thank
Can I
you.
see the bicentennial book and hold it up, because I think people were, and we want to get it. This is the new book. It's just coming out. Debbie Larson will be there at the Oktoberfest to sign it. She wrote it with all of us. $15. And all the proceeds are going to the Bicentennial Committee, so we can do great things next year. And my name is Barb Dempsey. I'm at 1379 Kingsley. Anyone else? Okay. Well, we have no administrative responses, right?
Right.
Approval of the minutes from previous meetings?
Move to approve the minutes from the September 5th, 2017 City Commission meeting as presented.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
Bunton.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Okay, general business, 9A. Second and final public hearing for the proposed activity in the floodplain Community Development Block Grant Shady Side Park Project, C6 12 2B and C7 12 2B. Need a motion?
Motion to open the second and final public hearing for proposed activity in the floodplain Community Development Block Grant Shady Side Park Project C6-12-B2B and C7-12-2B.
Second.
The proposed activity consists of the demolition of a restroom facility, updating of playground equipment, installation of amenities, and the updating replacement of the skate park and/or other facilities within a 100-year floodplain. The proposed project is located in the 41-acre Shadyside Park at 155 Shadyside Drive. Under Executive Order 11988, when federal funds are used either in a floodplain or impact a floodplain, an 8-step review process is required. The 7th step in that process is to conduct a second public hearing and notify the public of the decision-making process upon completion of steps 1 through 6 of the 8-step process review. The City of Mount Clemens, in partnership with Macomb County, Macomb Community Action, has determined that there is no practicable alternative for locating the proposed improvements in the Clinton River floodplain. This is due to 1, the need to provide recreation opportunities to nearby residents. 2, the economic feasibility of such provision in another location within city limits. 3, the desire to not displace residents. 4, the site's access to the Clinton River as an additional recreational amenity. And 5, the fact that these improvements will have minimal negative impacts on human health, public property, and floodplain values.
Okay, this is a public hearing.
Having come to Mount Clemens, Ruth Stevenson, 69 Bain Street, having come to Mount Clemens years ago, that area, in fact, the area, Shady Side and that neighborhood, River Acres, yes, it used to flood in there, where, from what I'm understanding, because I lived in New Haven, Corps of Engineers used to come in and boat people out. But when they built the spillway, that alleviated all of that. So, you know, I understand their concerns and issues, but supposedly that has been taken care of. But the one question I have, I keep hearing about the you know, the kids, what they do, the skateboard ramp. That is a tennis court, and I would like to see the skateboard. That was brought in because people in the city of Mount Clemens were tired of the kids uptown doing what they were doing, and they just assumed that that community didn't play tennis. Well, they did use the tennis court, and for volleyball and for that. And so they put the skateboard park down there. What I would like to see is the tennis court returned, revitalized, or whatever that you're going to do, and change where the skateboard park can be, or you can put it somewhere in that area. But I would like to see the return of the tennis court.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, seeing none, I need a motion to close the second and final public hearing.
I move to close the second and final public hearing for proposed activity in a floodplain community development, excuse me, community development block grant, Shady Side Park projects, C6-12-2B and C7-12-2B.
Support.
Okay, any comments or from the board?
I think the confusion on this issue, because it seems as like there might be some confusion, is that the city typically receives what we call CDBG money, or community block grant money, from the federal government every year. And we do many things with that money. This year we're tearing down some houses that are blighted houses that the city owns. We do a lot of different projects in the community, and within that money we decided that the restrooms that are basically gutted from the inside need to be torn down at Shady Side. So we were able to use that partial amount of that CDBG money to tear those down. But because Shady Side is in a floodplain, it added this extra step to using that money to tear that down. Because it's a floodplain, we had to do these public hearings. So it's not as if we decided that we have come into all this money to be able to do all these new projects at Shady Side. They are using this money, but because it's a floodplain, we had to do these public hearings. There's not additional funds. There's not an initiative to, I mean, we'd love to be able to do that, but we will have to get further funds to do that, in other words. So I think that's what's confusing everybody about these public hearings. And, you know, while we all, I mean, our recreation plan that we just passed does talk about wanting to do some very needed improvements of Shady Side Park, and that is the intention, to try to further get money to do that. This portion is really just an additional step that we were forced to do by the federal government because Shady Side is a floodplain, and we're using those monies to try to tear down this this bathroom because it's dysfunctional at this point. So I think hopefully that helps clear up something, because it's not an additional project.
I think, sorry, Ruthie, I can't have you speak now. We closed the public hearing. But I think, as I mentioned at the last meeting, the foundation, the Mount Clemens Foundation, that has been the catalyst behind doing all of the various parks, it will be the one that will probably start working on Shady Side when we start getting some monies, and then we will be working with the community like we did with every other park we did to see what the community wants to see in that park. So it's the foundation that's going to probably take the role of putting the different things that you've talked about and others have talked about, along with the community. So,
Not the city.
not the city at this point. Now, if the city can get some grants, you know, some recreational grants or something, we'll definitely go for those. But that's what Commissioner Kropp said is basically why we have to do this, and there is no plan at this time for anything down there to put other than tearing down and sprucing up a little bit of, you know, the grass or whatever when we tear the building down. So, but we can talk about it later. Okay? Anybody else here on the, okay, roll call, please.
Bolton?
Yes?
Campbell?
Yes.
Dempsey?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Crop?
Yes.
Okay, 9B, introduction and first reading of the ordinance, of an ordinance authorizing the conditional rezoning of property located at 205 Washington from I-1L industrial to RM1 multifamily residential. Need a motion?
Move to approve the introduction and first reading of an ordinance authorizing the conditional rezoning of 205 Washington from I-1 light industrial to RM1 multiple family residential, subject to a site plan and conditional rezoning agreement, and set the second reading and adoption for October 2nd, 2017.
Do I have a second?
Support.
On May 2nd, 2017, the Planning Commission held a public hearing on a conditional rezoning request for property located at 205 Washington. The request would rezone the property from I-1 light industrial to RM1 multiple family residential, subject to a site plan and conditional rezoning agreement. On July 11th, 2017, the Planning Commission passed a motion 3-2 recommending that the City Commission approve this request. All related documentation has been attached for your review.
Okay. Comments and questions? None? Okay. Since there aren't none, we'll take the roll call.
Hill?
Are we gonna have any discussion of this before?
I
we
just
vote?
asked.
Oh, I thought you were asking the.
No, because it's not a public hearing.
Oh, it's not a public, oh.
It's
okay.
the
Okay,
board.
excuse me. Well, I'd just like to make a comment if I could.
Please.
I'm very torn about this. I don't think that that area should be zoned light industrial, but I'm very concerned about changing the nature of the neighborhood by putting in multifamily, whatever. So I just have reservations about that myself.
Anyone else?
The
Commissioner
Planning
Bunn.
Commission has already approved this, as what I understand, and it was a kind of a split vote, 3-2. I guess I think that the area doesn't really need either of the two. They would like to have a single-family or family-styled residence in there. I know that unfortunately our hands are tied because we can't make that happen. But it seems like it's a bad situation either way it goes. If it's industrial, then we have a lot of industrial traffic that comes through there, and it's going to create a problem. If it's the multi-family residential, then that's also going to generate a lot of traffic in that area. I don't know what the solution is. I guess if I'm going to probably approve it in as much as since the Planning Commission already passed it, but I just see it as a lose-lose situation, and I'm sorry about it. There's nothing I can do.
Well, I think you have to, may I just add that, remember what it says in here, subject to a site plan and conditional rezoning agreement. So that all has to happen still. You know, we have, if I'm not mistaken, that's not our charge when it comes to those two things. Am I correct?
The agreement is.
The agreement, well, to change it.
No, well,
Right.
the zoning agreement, the contractual agreement is,
Okay.
And the site plans.
we have an ordinance, the ordinance is attached, conditional
Okay, so
rezoning
that's
agreement
what we-
is
okay.
attached.
All right.
But I
just wanna make sure.
would note that the condition is not multifamily. The condition is an adult foster care facility. That's what they are requesting, not a multifamily unit.
Not apartments, right? Is that what we were talking about? No, not apartments. So it'd be a senior. We do have, Jeff? Yeah. Come on up.
Good evening. My name is Joe Nahas. I live at 13815 Southgate, Sterling Heights, Michigan. As the young lady Lisa explained, the series of events that's taken place so far, I appreciate all the input from both the council and commissioners that's up here now and the residents. I don't know how many people have been by that property, but I'm trying to do the best thing that is feasible for the property. It'd be nice to have residential single-family homes there, but it just doesn't make sense dollar-wise. It can't happen. The numbers don't work. So like the city attorney mentioned, this is a conditional zoning, so it's not just going from light industrial to multiple, and I can put whatever falls under the multiple category on this property. That's not how it works. It's conditioned upon a particular use that has to be approved throughout the planning commission and whatever other city authorities need to be involved with. You know, the thing of it is I've had several requests for people that want to come in there and use it for an industrial purpose. So it's already zoned industrial. That's not changing. So it's if you had to choose between, even if you had to put apartments there, or if you had to put a service station or a parking lot storage for I mean, if you look at what you can do under the current zoning, there's a lot of things that are worse than what I'm proposing to do there. I turned in, some plans of a really sharp-looking building to redo that. I thought I was working congenially with the neighbors and respected their request not to have apartments there. Even though if we were going to put apartments there, the types of apartments there would have been, nice apartment. It wouldn't have been, we wouldn't have go in there and redo these totally and be looking to rent them to somebody that's going to destroy them or not take care of them.
Market value apartments?
Pardon me?
Market value versus
Market
low
value, I
income?
was, gearing them more loft style towards a younger professional. I've done some other things in the city. I bought the old Hubbard Funeral Home when no one would touch it, and made something happen there. Now they're building a $5-6 million building there. So I do love the city, and I don't, I'm not looking to just come in here and do anything just for, the sake of a dollar. I'm trying to repurpose that property and that building, the best way we can. And with the senior living there is going to be a lot less traffic than there would be if there was residential apartments, and I agree with the neighbors on that. But there's got to be something there. So if it doesn't work, then we'll just keep it light industrial, and I'll make it a storage lot or something. I mean, we can do that too. It's but I can't. It'd be nice to put some really cute homes there. I agree with you, Roger, but it just doesn't work dollar and cents wise. So. And we're trying to repurpose the property and establish a tax base. So if you have any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them for you.
Anybody have any questions?
When the planning commission approved this by a majority of one, was he the owner then, or was it the
Yes.
other? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's Spyglass Investments was the owner.
Spyglass, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
And I'm still involved with the new owners in the project, so still part of the project. That's why I'm here.
So this being rezoned from light industrial to multifamily, does that mean
It's
if?
not multifamily, it's only an adult, it can only be used as an adult foster care facility.
Well, I was
That's
just
all.
reading, it says multifamily resident.
That falls in it, but
Right,
that's
that's
why
his-
it's called a conditional rezoning.
Oh,
He
okay.
can't do any other use under multifamily.
You need that-
Other than an adult foster care facility.
You need that multiple
That's all.
zoning to,
That's why I was trying to
that's
get
what,
back to
that's
that.
what this particular use falls under, that zoning. That's why we're asking for it to be rezoned to that zoning with the conditional use of putting the adult foster care.
So if that were to change that
He'd
plan.
have to go back to the planning
Okay.
commission
Yeah.
if it was anything else.
Yeah, I couldn't get that
That's
approval
what
and
I'm
then say, now I'm gonna take the RM zoning and build apartments. I couldn't do that. It's
In the
conditioned.
agreement further spells out
Yeah.
that it has to be constructed within 2 years of the date of the issuance of a building permit, or this agreement's null and void, and it reverts back to the industrial zoning.
Commissioner Ford?
How many rooms or beds or you'll have?
There's going to be 16 beds total. 16 beds total. And there's going to be 4 rooms that have double beds. So there's going to be 12 rooms total in there as far as, residents. Residents go up to 16.
How many workers do you think you'll have?
Probably 4, depending on times of day. Could be more, could be less.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Not that it affects my vote, because I'll vote when I get to it. But anyway, how many bathrooms?
There's going to be three and a half bathrooms,
Oh,
but
three and a half.
three full bathrooms, and it's going to be a really sharp facility. I provided you with some drawings, and, you're welcome to go on my website and see some of the other building projects I've done. It's going to be really nice. The outside's going to be nice. It's going to be landscaped. There's going to be a courtyard for the residents. There's going to be a deck for them to sit on. It should be a nice, quiet little deal over there. You're going to probably have a little bit more visiting on the weekends and the holidays where there may be a little bit more car traffic, but for the most part, it's going to be primarily any kind of a delivery or just the employees that are working there as far as cars and traffic go.
Anyone else? Oh, Commissioner
Hey,
Ford?
Hounding on this, how about the parking? The neighborhood's worried about parking. Will you have on-site parking or?
Yeah, we do. We have on-site parking and on the Parkview, and we're also going to go on to our property and add some additional parking to alleviate some of the spaces that are on the Parkview side to try to be courteous to the one neighbor. So, but I mean, right now, as it's zoned right now, without doing anything, I could pull as many cars up on the Parkview side. I could put trucks over there. I could, I mean, if you look in the zoning, I could basically, there's tons of things I could do that are way less desirable than, refurbishing that building and making it look brand new and, making an asset to the city. It would be a lot nicer than what it can be used for and what it's currently zoned for.
I guess my concern is still changing the neighborhood. I own a house on Cass Avenue, and I bought that knowing what was there. I knew that I had a party store across the street. I knew I had another, commercial buildings on both sides of me, but I knew that when I bought it. When you're in a neighborhood and to have somebody come in and change that is a totally different thing.
I see where you're coming from, but change does happen, and right now it's, a building that's in repair, it needs repair. The roof's falling in. It's It's not like it's anything nice, and it's currently zoned for lots of things that you could do there that could be a lot less aesthetically pleasing than what I'm proposing to do. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's already zoned light industrial. I mean, you know.
Is the city going to benefit from taxes?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
so
just paid a
it's-
big tax bill.
They're not getting a tax break or anything?
No, no
Big one.
tax, no tax break. He's stuck with the whole thing. Anyone else? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, if there's nothing else, call roll.
Hill,
No.
Crab,
No.
Bunton,
Yes.
Campbell,
No.
Dempsey,
Yes,
Ford,
Yes.
failed. Correct?
just 3-3.
Okay, so it stays, I'm sorry, light industrial. Failed. So, go forth and do what you have to do.
Can it be brought up again?
I mean?
A question to the mayor, can it be brought up again?
Well, I'm sure he can, right, Brian? Can this come before us again? Or is this it?
This is it.
This is it, folks.
This motion failed, and they would have to start the process completely over.
But if he started completely over, it can't come back to us, is my question.
You better get up to the mic.
Yes, all rezoning requests are ultimately approved or denied by the city commission. Whether it's a conditional rezoning or just a general rezoning.
But if he decides now to go forth with something industrial, he doesn't have to come before us.
Yes, that I know.
So-
The original request, what I was asking, is that since it did fail, he can go back and redo the whole process and bring it to us again with some more convincing, perhaps, comments or whatever.
Right. Okay, all right, let's move on. Move on. Sorry. Sorry, Joe. Can't say anything. Okay, 9C, introduction, first reading to the Mount Clemens Planning Commission ordinance and the repeal of the City Plan Commission ordinance 14.000. Need a motion.
Move to
Someone?
approve the introduction and first reading of the Mount Clemens Planning Commission ordinance and to repeal the City Plan Commission ordinance 14.000 and set the second reading and adoption for October 2nd, 2017.
Second?
Support?
Attached is the Mount Clemens Planning Commission Ordinance 14.000, which pursuant to the provisions of the Michigan Planning Enabling Act, Public Act 33 of 2008, MCL 125.3801, et seq., establishes the appointments, terms, and membership of the Planning Commission and prescribes its authority, powers, and duties. It further repeals the City Plan Commission ordinance established in 1958.
Comments, questions?
Does this vary in any ways from what it's replacing? I mean,
Sure. That's why it's
okay,
replacing
well,
it.
okay, I didn't see what the highlighted, I mean, I didn't see any highlighted things. I wondered if the number of members
That has changed. It went from 9 down to 7.
Okay.
Under the state statute, you could have 3, 5, 7, or 9. And due to the problems that the city's had in filling commission slots, it was recommended that we go from 9 to 7.
Okay, and then I saw there was something in here about compensation. Does that mean that, what does that mean? Are
They
the
get no
members
compensation.
going to-
They don't get any compensation.
Well, it said here they can be compensated for, oh, yeah. The planning commission members may be compensated for their services and expenses as provided by city commission resolution.
And there is no city commission resolution to
Oh,
compensate
okay,
them.
okay, just checking.
I think if they went to to a workshop, for instance, on zoning or planning, they would
And
be
it costs
compensated.
$500.
Right.
And they paid for it. The city could reimburse them for that.
Okay.
Go ahead, Brian.
I was just going to say that the big driving force besides the change in membership levels is this, the state adopted a new planning enabling act in 2008, which brought together various city, township, village planning acts under one act. And so this language in here is really reflective of that new 2008 act as opposed to the old city planning act from 1921. So a lot of that language just updated. A lot of the language in here is exactly how it reads in the state act.
Okay, thank you.
This ordinance follows the state statute. All the paragraphs are pretty much in the state statute.
Okay.
And we wanted to make sure we have quorums at that particular board, because it's crucial when people want to come before them to get something approved, and you don't have a quorum, then they have to wait another month, and it could really put developers behind in that, or even residential people that, so. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Crop,
Yes.
Bunton,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Okay, approval of purchase and payment of invoices.
I move to approve purchases and payment of invoices as presented.
Support.
Are there any questions? Seeing none, roll call?
Bunton,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Consent agenda, need a motion?
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Roll call?
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Bunton,
Yes.
City managers report.
A work session was held on Monday, September 18th at 6 o'clock, which was prior to this meeting, for city commission updates. The next issue of the Clementine's newsletter will be delivered the first week in October inside the Journal newspaper to all residents. And the Downtown Development Authority, along with Pettiprint Inc., will host the Downtown Mount Clemens Oktoberfest on Friday, September 22nd, Saturday, September 23rd, and Sunday, September 24th. The festival will feature authentic German music, food, and fun for the whole family. Please come down and enjoy it. Call 469-4168 for more information.
Any questions? Okay. Commissioner comments. Commissioner Campbell?
Cass Avenue is the east-west main thoroughfare through the city, and there's two things that have taken place that I thought were very good. And one is the lady that works at Art Crane Alignment. I've seen her out sweeping the curbs along Cass Avenue and the side street there. So she takes great pride in her business there, so that's nice. Also, the Sherman House on Cass, in light of our bicentennial coming up, the owner of that house is doing a job that is unbelievable in restoring it. So that is going to be something that everybody will see as they're driving through the city. So I would like to congratulate both of them on their helping the city look its best. Thank you.
Commissioner Hill?
I just want to wish everybody a good evening and have a great week.
Commissioner Pratt?
I had the pleasure of attending the art party last Thursday. I know it takes a lot of work by the volunteers, and would like to thank the fire department and especially the city staff that helped make sure that the art party happened. It was a record-breaking attendance, and it was a really fun night. October 10th and October 14th at 9:30 a.m. at John's Family Grill will be my next coffee talks. And I'd like to thank everyone who came out this month and attended September's. So we had a really nice turnout. And that's all I have. Thanks.
Commissioner Button?
Okay. If everybody's looking for something to celebrate this month, on September 21st is Rosh Hashanah, Jewish New Year, on the eve of which the Jews eat an apple dipped in honey to signify a sweet new year to come. It's a nice tradition. Also, on the 21st is International Day of Peace, a day of seeking peace among all nations and all people. Boy, do we need that. And also the Islamic New Year on September 21st. On September 22nd, the beginning of fall. If you haven't noticed, it's probably already started. But the calendar says it's the beginning of fall in the northern hemisphere. On September 30th, Yom Kippur, Hebrew Day of Atonement. And I had a day of celebration yesterday in that I was inducted into the Michigan.
That's mine.
Don't say.
Don't say any more. I was going to go first, darn it. I should have.
Then I'll just leave that alone. Right to the Commissioner Wisdom. No, I got one more thing. James E. Thompson celebrating his 50th year as a minister at North Broadway Church of Christ, and his retirement will take place this weekend. It's a 3-day thing that'll happen Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Congratulations, Dr. Thompson, and for 50 years in any one church, that's quite a record. God bless you. And now, Commissioner Wisdom. For fast-acting relief, try slowing down. That's by Lily Tomlin. I need to take that advice. But we're going to give you another one as well. Education is learning what you didn't even know you didn't know. And that's by Daniel Bernstein. And with that, we'll say good night.
Commissioner Ford.
My comments, Mr. Tingley, he hired a contractor to tear down 3 homes in Mount Clemens that were badly deteriorating. One on Murdoch, one on Gibbs, and one on Court. The only problem I have with it, they didn't spray any water on the debris, and the neighbors were complaining about dust.
Thank you. Is that it?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay, now my thunder. No, still. As Mr. Bunton indicated, Commissioner Bunton, he had his, I don't know what kind of celebration. If you'd like to share with us how you celebrated this after, that's fine. But he was inducted into the Michigan High School Coaches Association Hall of Fame. Let me say a few things about Commissioner Bunton. He started the program at L'Anse Creuse High School, the first high school lacrosse team in the state of Michigan, and he continued for 30 consecutive years coaching. He also was instrumental in establishing the Port Huron lacrosse program. Okay. Mr. Bunton also coached JV football, JV and middle school basketball, and junior high track. He was inducted in 2005 into the Macomb County Coaches Hall of Fame. And then as of this year, he was inducted into the Michigan High School Coaches Hall of Fame. Job well done.
That calls for applause.
Now, how did you celebrate that?
Well, actually, yesterday the induction ceremony took place, so they fed me a very good meal, and then we got to sit and listen to people say nice things about us, and so.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it is really nice.
And I have a really great picture here, too, of him when he was a coach. You guys got it. I'll pass it around.
Where did you get this?
Oh, hey, I have my ways.
Wow.
The other thing I want to, the Santa Parade is only a few weeks away. Well, a little bit more than a few weeks away. November 18th. So we're looking for participants, still looking for sponsors, and absolutely we need volunteers for the parade. You can call 469-6818 extension 325. And you'll get a recording, but I will answer and return all calls. So we're always looking for new people to help us out with the parade. It's a great thing. This is our 42nd year. So I think that whoever can give us some time would be wonderful. And you'll enjoy it. If you can't, just come on down and watch it. Yeah. I don't know what Ruthie will be this year, but we'll find a costume for her.
She'll be the brown bear again.
And that's all. So with that, I need a motion to adjourn. Or we're going into
Closed session.
closed session, sorry.
So
Like to
moved.
adjourn.
Second.
Roll call.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menser. Oops.
Did you get her answer?
Yes.
Yes.
Who did I miss? Campbell.
Okay, whoever. 5-minute recess.
Move to
Oh,
adjourn.
I just want to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Sorry. Need a motion to adjourn. Do we have the motion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Now meeting's adjourned.